But at the moment, many Wolves fans are thinking, what is going on? Because now we know Wolves parted company last night with the manager Julien Loptegui. He seems to have talked himself out of the job. And now incoming is Gary O'Neill, once of Bournemouth, more lately of Bournemouth, but now soon to be announced at Wolves. Danny, what goes on at these football clubs? Days away from the start of the Premier League, and Wolves have got to shake the pack in terms of who manages the football club.
Well, I think the biggest surprise in all of this is the timing, because what's changed? If they're not going to spend any money, they must have known that weeks ago, if not months ago.
Yeah.
Maybe the thing was that he didn't realise they were going to sell as many, because obviously Neves has gone, Nathan Collins has gone, Martinho's gone, some of the lads they brought in on loan have gone.
Neves has gone.
Yeah, Neves.
Cody's
sorry,
gone.
Neves.
Jimenez.
Yeah, God, yeah, the list is endless. So maybe when he saw the exodus of players, he thought, you know what, I can't do enough with this side, and I'm not going to work with one hand tied behind my back. The more I've looked at it, although it's really bad timing, I understand Wolves fans will be disappointed, I think it's a wonderful opportunity for Gary O'Neill. I've been looking through the squad this morning. They've still got plenty of firepower. They've got good experience still in that squad. And if you were looking at player for player, I mean, let's say Gary O'Neill is in there, which he looks like he's going to be. I would say that Wolves' squad is much better than Bournemouth's last season, who he kept up reasonably comfortably in the end.
Right, so it's not an impossible job.
Well,
I was going to ask you, have Wolves heightened or lessened their chances of relegation by parting company with Lopetegui?
Well, logic would suggest lessen, because he's a manager with a wonderful wealth of experience, a manager who's had success all over the place, and somebody who's already got a tune out the players in the squad. So whoever you bring in is a bigger risk than keeping him.
Right.
So yeah, lessened.
Okay.
But I do not think there'll be... I think it'll be difficult. I think any new manager going in 6 days before is going to take time to get his message to the team, work out who he likes, who he doesn't like, all the normal stuff. I don't see it being a smooth season. I think it's going to be some ups and downs, but I don't think with the squad they've got, looking at the players, the firepower they still have there, that they'll have a problem. I think they'll stay up.
Okay, Chris, Wolves fan, is telling us good riddance. We don't need the negativity of Lopetegui and the sulking of players who don't want to be at Wolves. We're going to take some calls from Wolves fans very shortly. 03717 223344. Alarm bells were ringing though, Danny, as recently as the end of last month, when Lopetegui started to suggest, at the moment we can't compete.
We are, of course, ready for the last friendly matches. Working hard, of course, but in the same way, worried about the future of our squad, because we are not to need to improve our squad if we want to be able to compete in the Premier League. We lost a lot of key players, and we didn't have a replace for them. Of course, we have to work, always doing our best, but in the same way, worried for this move that we have in the future of the transfer window, because the Premier League doesn't forgive.
It doesn't forgive. So Lopetegui is out of there. Gary O'Neill's coming in. Jack's a big Wolves fan. Jack, good morning. What's your take on it?
Hi guys, good morning.
Morning, Jack.
For me, it's been quite a roller coaster, really. I remember us trying to get Lopetegui about 6 years ago when we were in for Nuno. It was been quite a coup then, considering we were in the Championship at the time. We missed out on that because of the Spain job heading up for Lopetegui, which at the time is just no choice. You're going to Spain over a Championship Lopetegui. But I think the goalposts have been moved a couple of times for Lopetegui, it's fair to say. He was sold at the end of May. I think there was already discussions happening before the last game of the season against Arsenal about it. It then doesn't come great when we lose 5-0. You wonder how much distractions were there the last game of the season, albeit not much playing for it. But it just seemed that the goalposts have been moved and he's just got fed up. And it'd be great to know really if we had more chance of getting this sorted a bit sooner.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Jack. I mean, the new Premier League season's just around the corner. They could have sorted this out a lot sooner, surely.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the budgets were obviously agreed. He wasn't he wasn't entirely happy with them, but he got to a point where he was happy to compromise with what they had.
Yeah.
And it seems up to about a couple of weeks ago that the goalposts have changed again, and he can no longer sign either cheap players or even free transfer players.
So what with Gary O'Neill, Jack?
Yeah, I think he's going to do a job. I think he's got enough to keep us up, but it is a bit of a deflation, to be fair, to go from probably one of the most decorated managers we will ever have going forward to going to Gary O'Neill. So there's going to be a disappointment in that. But I think we've just got to get through the season. It's going to be a bumpy ride. If someone's offered me 17th now, I'd take it just to move on, get to next summer and regroup again. Hopefully with the financial fair play window moved on and with some funds in the kitty for next summer. But something's not adding up financially for sure. There's got to be more funds.
All right, Jack, thank you so much for the call. Here's James, another Wolves fan. Gary O'Neill coming in. What's your take on this whole thing, do you think, James?
I'm glad he's gone. He just stressed me out, never mind stressed himself out. Because look, for a start, the owners, Jeff Shee, he ain't got a clue. He couldn't organise in a brewery. Honestly, he hasn't got a clue what he's doing. Where he went wrong is we got rid of the chief executive, a British guy, and he had a fallout with him. I think he came over from West Ham. And we need a proper chief executive. He knows what he's doing. Jeff C hasn't got a clue. I'm sorry, but so there's two sides to the story. But I'm glad he's gone because I think he chucked his toys out too much. If he had any sense, what he should have done, Jim, was. Look, I'll go with this, see what happens, and we look at it again in January. But he just chickened out. He's a chicken, and that's what a lot of my Wolves mates are saying. Villa fans are saying that as well. He's a chicken because he should have fought the battle and the Chinese owners wouldn't have not given him any money. So I'm really glad he's gone. I think Gary Neal will do a good job. I think we'll finish about 13th, 14th, and to be honest with you, the Premiership stresses me out sometimes. I don't mind a bit. I'll be honest with you, boys. I don't mind a bit of Championship football. I like it, and you win more games.
I wouldn't say that too loudly, James. Come on, you want to stay in the top flight, James? I like you though. Thank you for the call, George. Good morning. What's your take on this? I mean, James is none too perturbed about it and welcomes Gary O'Neill in. I suppose you just got to go on with it now, right?
Yeah, Jim. I think we do have to get on with it, and. In relation to Gary O'Neill, who knows? He did a good job at Bournemouth. I'm slightly concerned about his general lack of experience. But I think with Lopetegui, what we have to look at, yes, absolutely, no one's going to argue with the fact he did a job keeping us in the Premier League. But I think if you ask most Wolves supporters about the quality of football that was dished up, most of them would say that it was no better than the previous setup under Bruno Lage. What happened was we managed to eke out good results, even though we were outplayed, at home against teams like Tottenham, Villa, Chelsea. That's what kept us in the league, not any great performances.
Okay, I think that's a fair point.
Okay,
I think the problem is sometimes when you go into a club and you've got to get results, you're going to adapt the way you really want to play to get the results. He's a proven ball. Lopetegui's teams generally are very good teams to watch, possession-based teams. So I don't think that would have been an issue, the style, if he'd have had given himself. But I do given himself a bit more time. But I do take the point of. Stay and fight a little bit. Why are you walking off? I do get that. It doesn't bode well. I mean, most fans, and I think Wolves fans, the general consensus of opinion listening to them here is that we want people at our club who want to be here.
Yes.
And Gary O'Neill will want to be there, and he will give it all.
Yeah.
I actually think it's a really exciting watch.
Yeah.
To see how he does, because as I said again before, and I'll say it again. The players that Wolves still have, there's some real high-quality players there.
Sure.
Gary O'Neill will be looking at that squad going, I can get more out of them than I did that Bournemouth team.
Absolutely. What I would say, Danny, is I spoke to Bill Foley, the owner of Bournemouth, recently as to why they parted company with O'Neill. Thereafter, I spoke to Gary O'Neill, and Gary says, well, what's done is done. On to the next one, and I cannot wait for the next one. So Wolves fans should be heartened by that. Wolves' first game of the season is on Monday night. It's away to Manchester United. Good luck with that. And it's live on talkSPORT.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.